Welcome to Module 2. This is the simple online system for multiple streams of income. This is a way to step you into the world that maybe you've always desired to live in. This is a site where I'm going to help you to live in time freedom, location freedom, and financial freedom, whatever that means to you. In Module 1, I encourage you to write down your perfect day. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What are the smells and the sights and the experiences that you'd like to be living in? Who are the people that are around you? Because unless this is burning strongly and deeply in you, lots of things are going to bombard against you and you're going to find it very easy to just walk away and become an average person who doesn't want to try in case they fail. I'm here to encourage you to break free of those mental limitations, and you can do it. If you've got a deep desire inside to be somebody that you were created to be, I'm here to give you the tools to make that happen. And I hope you'll join me on the journey. The system will be in module, you'll just have to follow that one through. This is module 2, and I'm going to go through some of the mind barriers that will be there to actually inhibit you and be like obstacles and barriers against you being able to succeed. So you've got your perfect day, it's all in your heart, you've got your why, you've got your dream, all of that's in place. You're working backwards, you've got the end and you're coming back, and you've got to start from that point. But in between now and that end result, there are a few boulders, and I'd like to just confront those boulders that you're going to be facing. And when you do face a negative situation, I'm going to give you some tools that you're going to be prepared to deal with those big boulders, so you can just push them out of the way. So in your mind, I want you to take notes if you can, but to remember that as soon as something comes against you that's going to make you feel like my perfect day isn't going to take place, because if you dwell on those thoughts, you'll actually start to go down and down and down, and you'll become incredibly discouraged. But what you've got to do in those moments, as soon as you start to think, this isn't going to work, I want you to go and find a piece of paper that you've pre-written, and you're going to do it today. I want you to write down 3 things that you are incredibly grateful for. 3 things. I'm grateful for the sunshine. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful that I have a home to live in and I have a family. I'm grateful that I have a God who loves me. There's a lot of things that we need to be grateful for, that we need to stop and contemplate. What are the things that we are grateful for? So pause the video right now and write down 3 things that you are incredibly grateful for. Well, welcome back. I hope you've written those 3 great things that you are incredibly grateful for. Sorry, I've used the word twice. Grateful, very, very important. Being thankful. There's a quote here that actually says, develop an attitude of gratitude and give thanks for everything that happens to you, knowing that every step forward is a step towards achieving something bigger and better than your current situation. And that's a quote written by Brian Tracy. So just an attitude of gratitude. Nothing is a failure, nothing is a problem. You're moving towards something that's even better and greater than you've ever experienced before. So let me have a look at point number 2. There are 5 altogether. So the first thing being be grateful. The second thing is sacrifice. Now, lots of times when we think of that word sacrifice, we think, I'm losing something. I've got to give up something. I've got to sacrifice ice cream. I've got to sacrifice something in particular. And we sort of have this sense of, oh, I've got to do without. I want your brain to start thinking that sacrifice is actually working to your advantage. It's actually sacrificing something that's not going to benefit you for something that will benefit you. Becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a person that isn't told what to do by your employer or your teachers or other institutions that are around you, you are then free to just choose whatever it is that you want to do with your time. Lots of times we can get stuck in that mode and we don't do the things that we need to do. And that's where I want you to stop and think, What can I sacrifice in order to grow, in order to learn, in order to become a better person? What am I going to do in order to achieve that end result? You see, your perfect day isn't just going to knock on the door one day and say, I'm here. This is your perfect day. I'm knocking on the door. Come in. You've got to actually go and create that perfect day. Your mind is aligned to it. You can visually see it. You've got a grateful, thankful heart. But you're going to have to now sacrifice something that's not important. And I'm not saying sacrifice family and family time, but I am saying sacrifice computer games or some TV shows or lying in bed. You see, anyone who's really achieved anything that's great has always had to go through some form of sacrifice. You get on and watch some YouTube clips and see the people who've really achieved greatness with their lives. They get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. They do the hard yards. They do things that most average people don't do. So I'm going to encourage you to think about what it is that you can sacrifice in order to achieve what it is that you'd like to achieve. If you're desiring in order to have a fit body, you're going to have to sacrifice a few things that you're eating. Sacrifice some time and maybe exercise. I mean, that's obvious. But when it comes time to build a business, an online business, or build a networking business, or do some trading, or do something, you're going to have to learn. You're going to have to spend some time to switch off the entertainment and switch on the education. So sacrifice is really, really important in order for you to achieve your perfect day. So would you please put your computer on pause now, and I want you to write down 3 things that you are prepared to sacrifice in order to achieve the goals and the desires that you'd like to achieve to get your perfect day. What are 3 things that you know that you can do without? So pause this and we'll get back after you've done that. Okay, so what are the 3 things that you're willing to sacrifice in order to achieve the goal of the life of your dreams? I hope that you are prepared to sacrifice at least 30 to 60 minutes a day. That's where I'm heading. When we're looking at this online system, you need to find at least 30 to 60 minutes a day. More if you want, but that's the minimum that you're going to have to focus on for the next 90 days if you really want to get the life of your dreams. But more about that in the next module. So sacrifice is actually going to bring you into the life of freedom, and I hope that you're just going to embrace that sacrifice and go, yes, this is for my benefit, not for my loss. The 3rd thing that I want you to embrace in your life is that you need to be prepared that you're going to fail. Every millionaire, every big business owner, every person that's walked into greatness on this earth has always had to confront failure. But they don't think of failure as something that's negative. They actually think of failure as a stepping stone towards greatness. How do you know what's going to work if you don't have a go? And maybe having a go will bring about failure. Many of the stepping stones that Trevor and I have taken have brought us up to closed doors and to negative things that have come against us. You have the automatic response that says, I'm going to give up. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to close. I'm a failure. This is dreadful. Instead of going, no, failure is a part of life. Embrace failure. Embrace it as part of, this is just who I am. And I'm sure you've realized that you've failed on many, many, many instances, haven't you? You failed when you tried to walk. You didn't stand up one day and start to walk. No, you fell over. What about riding the bikes? Water skiing. Oh my goodness, the number of times that you crash and you get up and you have a go. You crash and you get up and you have a go. Snow skiing. All kinds of things that you have a go and you fail. But you don't let that stop you. You allow that to just be the propulsion to get up. I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to do this. Because failure becomes the best university of life. So don't use that word that failure is something bad. Failure is a stepping stone to greatness. And I hope that you really, really embrace it. So I want you to think of a time that you failed, but you got up again. Can you think of it? You probably can't remember when you walked, But if you can't think of a time which you failed and you got up again, well, let that be something that can remind you. But you did get up and you did succeed and you will succeed. Just keep pressing forward. Okay, that's step number 3. So the fourth thing that I'm wanting you to embrace is the word focus. So during these next few weeks that I'm going to be walking with you, I hope that you're going to really embrace what I'm going to be talking to you about. I want you to focus. So when you have got that time that's there, you have allocated yourself a 30 or 60-minute time block, I want you to be free of distractions, free of the phone, free of the telly that's on behind, free from Facebook. Turn all of the distractions off and say, no, this is the time I'm going to focus. Just like a horse when he's racing down the racetrack, he has blinkers on the side of his eyes and he refuses. Well, they don't give him the opportunity of looking his head either way. Because I know as soon as you do, as soon as you pick up that phone and you answer that SMS, or a thought comes into your mind, oh, I've got to do that tomorrow, then all of a sudden you've lost the power of being able to become a powerful person in that focus time. So sacrificing your time, but focus during those 30, 60, 90 minutes, you'll be amazed as to how much you'll actually be able to achieve. So gratitude, sacrifice, what was the other one? Preparing to fail, and focus. Very, very important. And just as I finish off, and these are, you have to set some goals. You've got to set some goals. So you've got the big end in mind. You've got the big perfect day. You know where you want to go and what you want to achieve. So now how are you going to bring that back to today or tomorrow or next month or next week? So you now have to actually be able to start with the end in mind and bring it back to, well, what am I going to do today? But lots of times your brain is going to shut down if you know your big goal is I want to retire, I want to be able to have $200,000 a year coming in, $500,000 a year coming in, $50,000 a year coming in. Your brain will go, I can't do that. And you'll shut down. Your brain will actually convince you that you can't do it because of experiences that you've had in the past. So what you've got to do in order to break through from that in the next 30, 60 to 90 days is you're going to have to set yourself what I call mini goals, little mini successes. Mini successes is doing one little thing towards your end goal, towards that big thing. It's like just, I don't know, picking up one rock and throwing it in, and eventually the whole rock pile will actually be moved. But it won't be moved just by thinking about it. So I want you to think of the big goal, and then you need to break it down into small bits that's going to help you achieve it. So let me just use this as an example. Your big goal might be, I want to achieve $100,000 in the next 12 months. Your brain will go, that's too hard. So what I want you to do is to break it down into how much do you need to earn today? One day. 365 days that you have ahead of you in order to achieve that. So that brings it down into a small chunk. Well, I'm going to work on something that's going to bring me in $100, then $200, then $500, and before you know where you are, those small little goals become achievable, and your brain can believe it, completely believe it. Now, what's going to happen though is that you're going to have obstacles that are going to come against you. Previous mindsets, previous failures, maybe lack of finance, lack of motivation, all these different things that might come up. I need you to write the list of the goals first that you'd like to achieve, and then list the obstacles. Then I want you to list your assets. What are the things that you do have that's going for you? What are the good things? You've got a computer, you've got power, you've got a brain, you've got somewhere to live. You've got many, many assets that you've probably not even thought that you have. List those down beside the obstacles. And what I want you to do is to match off one asset that will actually cancel out the obstacle. So something that you might say, but I can't achieve that, I'm negative. Okay, I've got a computer. I'll actually go and watch some motivational clips on YouTube because you've got a computer. You'd be amazed as to how many assets that you do have that can actually work and cross out all of the obstacles that you have in front of you. So just in finishing this module off, I want you to remember, be grateful. Come back to in any moments that you're feeling a bit down and depressed, be grateful. I want you to realize that yes, you need to sacrifice some time. Be definite with that. Be disciplined in that amount of time. Then realize that failure will come. It's not a perfect run for everybody. Get up and move towards your goals. Then focus. You're not going to get distracted. And then set a goal, a daily goal. And those daily goals I'm going to break open for you when we look at our simple online system. Match off the assets. Realize you have a lot of good things going for you that will actually cancel out your obstacles. Just do one small step at a time. Get that success. Tick that box. Say, yes, I've done that. I've made that. I've done it. I've pulled this up. I've read this. And step by step, you'll actually be achieving far more than you ever have thought that you could achieve or do. I'm standing with you. I believe in you. I want you to achieve greatness and become everything that you've been created to be. I look forward to unpacking the simple online system for you in Module 3.